Threads of Eternity. Episode 9. Fracture and Verdict. The sky hangs gray-violet, neither night nor dawn. Shadows from broken terrain stretch long and wrong. Lyric stands with Elara beside her. The thread hums, not urgent, but alive, a living warning. The key pulses faintly in Elara's pocket.
Lyric, I don't feel right.
Talk to me.
Like pressure inside. Not pain, but wrong.
Lyric scans her friend, noticing subtle paleness. The key pulses violently once, then subsides.
The verdict engine touched you? That's not a normal mark effect.
So I'm sick.
Changed. The key is resonating through your system. You're adapting, whether you like it or not.
Elara swallows, uneasy. Elara presses a hand to her ribs, like she can hold the feeling in place. The ground beneath them gives a low, distant groan, not an earthquake. Something deeper. The ridge responding.
The ridge is reacting to you too.
That's not helping.
Lyric softens, just a fraction. She steps closer, lowering her voice.
When the verdict engine marks someone, it usually leaves residue. Static. Burnout. But this is synchronization.
Like the key is syncing with me?
The thread tightens around them, not visible but felt. The air thickens, charged. The shadows along the broken terrain shift half a second too late, like they're lagging behind reality.
Not just syncing, learning you.
Elara exhales slowly, trying to steady herself.
That's worse.
The key pulses again, softer this time. Not a warning, a response. Elara winces, gripping Lyric's arm.
I can hear it now. Not words, just intent. Like it wants me to move. Down. Not physically. Deeper.
That's how it starts.
Starts what?
The line between carrier and conduit blurs. You stop holding the key. The key starts holding you.
A distant metallic echo rolls across the ridge, not from any visible structure. More like something massive shifting far below the surface. Elara opens her eyes. For a split second, Lyric sees something wrong in them. A faint geometric reflection, like layered patterns that don't belong to any natural pupil. Then it's gone.
Lyric, if I change.
You're not allowed to finish that sentence.
I mean it. If I stop being me.
Then we fight for you. Simple as that.
Another pulse. Stronger. The thread hums louder now, no longer passive. Alert.
We need to move. The ridge just flagged you.
Flagged me to who?
Lyric looks out over the fractured horizon. The gray-violet sky lightens by a fraction, like dawn trying and failing to break through.
To anything that's listening.
Elara nods, fear tightening her throat, but beneath it, something else stirs. Not fear. Recognition. The key answers again, faint but deliberate. And somewhere beneath the ridge, something answers back. The thread spikes. Not a gradual rise. A hard, violent surge, like a snapped cable whipping through the air. Lyric freezes.
Down.
She pulls Elara behind a fractured slab of black stone just as the air above them folds. Not opens. Not tears. Folds like reality briefly creases. A pressure wave rolls across the ridge. Dust lifts in a perfect circular ripple, expanding outward. The sound comes a half second later, a deep, subsonic thrum that rattles teeth and bone. Elara clamps her hands over her ears, gasping.
That's not a ship.
The fold stabilizes. Something steps out. It's tall, wrong proportions. Limbs slightly too long, joints bending at angles that look almost human, almost. Its surface isn't metal or flesh, but a layered composite that shifts subtly, like stacked plates reconfiguring. No face, just a smooth mask broken by a vertical slit that glows faint white. The thread goes silent, not calm, suppressed.
A listener class.
That sounds bad.
It means the ridge just became priority.
The entity tilts its head. The glow in the slit intensifies. Scanning, sampling. The air around it distorts, like heat shimmer without heat.
Lyric. It's looking at me.
Don't lock eyes. Don't react.
Too late. The key pulses once. Hard. The listener stiffens. The slit flares. A second presence pushes through the fold, smaller, faster. Quadruped silhouette. Low to the ground. Its movement blurs like it's skipping frames.
We have a tracker too.
I really hate today.
The tracker lets out a sound, not a growl. More like data being torn in half. A shrill, glitching shriek that scrapes along the thread itself. Elara doubles over, pain lancing behind her eyes.
It hurts. It's in my head.
Lyric raises her weapon, not aiming at the creatures. Aiming at the ground between them.
Elara, listen to me. The key didn't just wake them. It told them exactly who you are.
The listener takes a single step forward. The ridge answers, stone cracking deep and slow. Not collapsing. Making room. And somewhere in the fold space behind them, something much larger begins to move. The listener raises one elongated arm. Not in threat. In confirmation. The slit in its face narrows, focusing, the glow sharpening into a thin, precise line.
Asset confirmed.
Elara feels the words inside her skull. Not sound. Classification. She staggers.
Lyric. It's naming me.
Lyric steps in front of her without hesitation, body squared, weapon finally coming up, not shaking.
Then it picked the wrong perimeter.
The tracker lunges. Not forward. Sideways. It vanishes from where it was and reappears mid-air, already striking. Claws slicing through the space Lyric's head just left as she ducks. Stone explodes behind them. Lyric fires, not at the tracker. At the fold anchor. A sharp, concussive crack. The air screams. The fold destabilizes, edges fraying like burning paper. The listener reacts instantly, arms snapping out, generating a containment field. Too late. The key flares. Not by Elara's choice. By instinct. Time does not stop. It misaligns. For a fraction of a second, everything splits into layered positions. Lyric in 3 places, the tracker in 5, the listener stretched like a smear across moments. Elara gasps as something inside her locks in. She feels the ridge, the fold, the thread. All at once.
I can see the seams.
The world snaps back. The fold collapses in on itself with a thunderous implosion. The tracker is gone, ripped sideways into nothing. The listener is thrown back, crashing into fractured stone, its mask splitting with a spiderweb of glowing cracks. Silence. Not peace. Aftershock. Dust settles slowly in the gray-violet light. Lyric turns to Elara, breathing hard.
You did that.
Elara stares at her hands. They're shaking. Not from fear. From residual alignment.
I didn't mean to.
That's what scares me. Scene's over. We're just clocked in.
Behind them, deep beneath the ridge, something massive shifts again. Not arriving. Not yet. But now it knows the door exists. Lyric grips Elara's shoulder. Kael arrives, breath heavy from moving across the fractured ridge. He stops beside Elara instantly.
Elara, are you okay?
Define okay.
Kael grabs her hands without thinking. Not dramatic. Not reckless. Just grounding.
You don't have to carry this alone.
You always do that.
I always stay.
A quiet, fragile moment. The war, the shadows, the fold, all fade for a heartbeat. Kael's hands are warm, steady, real in a way the ridge is not. Elara exhales, letting some of the tension drain through their joined fingers.
You shouldn't have come this far out.
You shouldn't have been out here without me.
That's not how orders work.
That's how we work.
He studies her face, the subtle strain she's trying to hide. The paleness, the way she's holding herself like something inside might shift if she relaxes too much.
You're shaking. It's the key, isn't it?
Elara hesitates. That's her answer.
It's louder now.
Kael nods slowly, like he's already been preparing himself for that truth.
Then let me be louder.
She lets out a small, broken laugh.
You don't even know what that means.
I don't have to. I just have to stay.
He brings their foreheads together. Not a kiss. Something quieter. More necessary. For a moment, the thread fades to a low murmur. The ridge noise dulls. Even the distant aftershock silence feels held back.
Do you ever think about what happens after?
After what?
After this stops being temporary. After I'm not just marked. After I'm something else.
Kael doesn't pull away.
Then I'll learn the new rules.
That's not fair to you.
Loving you was never fair. It was just true.
Elara closes her eyes. For one fragile second, she lets herself believe that might be enough. Her grip tightens on his hands.
If I lose control,
You won't.
you don't know that.
No. But I know you.
He finally kisses her then. Not desperate. Not long. Just enough to remind them both they are still human. Still here. When they part, Elara rests her forehead against his chest, listening to his heartbeat. Steady. Defiant. Alive.
We need to move. Now.
Reality bleeds back in. Elara straightens, already feeling the weight return.
How bad?
Bad enough that the ridge won't forget you. Worse enough that something bigger felt what you did.
Kael's jaw tightens.
Bigger than that listener?
Elara slips her hand into Kael's. Not because she's weak, because she's choosing to be connected.
Then we don't run from it.
We run toward cover. Together.
A faint tremor passes through the ground, not violent, not subtle. A reminder. The fold isn't done. The shadows aren't done. And Elara is no longer invisible to either. Kael squeezes her hand once.
Whatever you're becoming,
Don't say it like that.
I was going to say, you're still mine.
She holds his gaze. For now. The thread hums again, low, watchful. Not a warning. A countdown. They turn toward the fractured path ahead. Not as soldiers. Not as assets. As two people choosing each other in the middle of a war that just learned their names. The fractured terrain shivers. Shadows surge from multiple directions, coordinated. Not probing, attacking.
All sides. Mara and Ion step from their positions, drawn by the same attack. Mara smirks.
Looks like the universe wants to test us. Or it's delaying judgment. That's worse.
The fractured terrain shivers. Not from impact. From approach. Shadows surge from multiple directions, not drifting, not stalking. Coordinated. Deliberate. A true assault pattern.
All sides.
The darkness doesn't just move, it peels itself off the broken stone, rising in layered silhouettes. Humanoid shapes fracture into claws, tendrils, wings that never fully form. Mara and Ion emerge from cover on opposite ridges, drawn by the same thread spike. Mara rolls her shoulders like she's been waiting for this.
Looks like the universe wants to test us. Or it's delaying judgment. That's worse.
The first shadow hits. Not with force. With absence. A section of ground simply isn't there anymore. One step solid. The next erased. A trooper behind Lyric stumbles. Half his leg vanishing into nothing before Lyric yanks him back.
They're phasing the terrain. Watch your footing.
Kael pulls Elara back instinctively.
Stay behind me.
I can't. I can feel where they're coming from. They're loud in the thread, like screaming glass.
Her voice catches. A shadow lunges from above, dropping straight down, body stretching thin like liquid darkness. Mara snaps her weapon up, firing a pulse round that doesn't just hit. It locks. The shadow freezes midair, crystallized in fractured black geometry.
Still ugly. Still predictable.
Ion doesn't fire. He plants his staff into the stone.
Anchor pattern. Now.
The ridge answers. Lines of pale energy spiderweb outward from Ion's position, stabilizing chunks of terrain. The erasing effect slows, not stopped but resisted.
They're trying to destabilize the perimeter so something heavier can push through.
So this is just the opening act.
More shadows emerge, dozens now. Some crawl, some glide, some flicker between frames of reality. One breaks through the line. Too fast. It slams into Lyric, knocking her back hard. She rolls, comes up firing, shots tearing through the shadow's torso. It doesn't die. It splits. Two smaller forms tear free, scrambling in opposite directions.
They're fragmenting. Don't overpenetrate.
Kael fires short, controlled bursts, driving one fragment back.
Elara, get down.
Too late. A shadow lunges straight for her. Elara doesn't think. The key answers. Her vision fractures into layered depth. She sees the shadow's path before it completes. She moves. Not faster. Earlier. The shadow slams into empty space where she was going to be. The backlash hits her anyway.
I moved before it happened.
That's not normal.
I know.
The shadows hesitate. Just for a fraction. They feel it. They feel her. A deeper tremor ripples through the ridge. Not surface level. Substructural.
That's bad.
Define bad.
Something bigger just latched onto this battlefield. They're not here to kill us.
Then what?
Ion looks at Elara.
They're here to measure her.
The shadows suddenly shift tactics. They stop rushing. They circle, forming a loose containment ring.
Oh, I hate when they get smart.
One shadow steps forward, taller than the rest. Its shape stabilizes, forming a crude mockery of a face. Its voice doesn't come from its mouth. It comes from the thread.
Alignment confirmed. Subject remains unstable.
Elara feels the words like a verdict pressing against her spine.
Don't listen to it.
It's not talking to me. It's talking about me.
The shadow tilts its head.
Asset interference detected. Emotional anchors present.
Its gaze, if it can be called that, settles on Kael.
Kael, move.
Three shadows break formation and surge straight for him. Elara screams. Not in fear. In command.
No.
The thread flares. The ridge answers. A shockwave rips outward from Elara's position, not explosive but displacing. The shadows targeting Kael are thrown sideways, slamming into fractured stone, momentarily dispersed. Silence hits for half a breath. Everyone stares at Elara. She didn't mean to do that. But she did. The larger shadow recoalesces.
Response confirmed. Subject capable. Escalation authorized.
The containment ring tightens. Not to kill. To claim ground. To prepare. Lyric steps in front of Elara again.
That's enough data for them. We break out. Now.
Finally. A bad decision I can support.
Mara grins, sharp, dangerous. The shadows close in. The ridge groans. And somewhere deeper in the fold, something vast begins to turn its attention fully toward them. Not observing anymore. Targeting. Kael moves before Lyric can intervene. Not impulsive. Instinctive. He steps between Elara and the others in one clean motion, shoulders squared, body already braced for impact.
Get away from her.
Mara doesn't flinch. Her red hair whips in the cold air as she shifts her stance, not aggressive. Prepared.
You first.
Ion is already moving before the last word leaves her mouth. He doesn't rush Kael. He circles, angles for leverage, for openings, for pressure points. The first clash is violent. Kael drives forward, shoulder first, forcing Mara back 2 steps. She recovers instantly, twisting with the momentum, redirecting his force instead of absorbing it. Ion strikes from Kael's blind side, a precise blow to the ribs. Bone doesn't crack. Muscle does. Kael grunts but doesn't fall. Lyric turns sharply.
Kael.
Mara and Ion are already in sync. They don't fight like 2 people. They fight like one system. Mara draws Kael's attention with forward pressure. Sharp strikes meant to force his guard high. Ion slips in low, targeting balance. Breath, center of mass. Kael takes a hit to the jaw. His head snaps sideways. He stays on his feet.
Elara's watching. That's why I'm still standing.
Blood trickles from his lip. He wipes it away with the back of his hand, not to clean it, to prove he's still there. Kael surges forward, catching Ion off guard for half a second. His fist connects. Ion stumbles back a step, surprised. Not hurt. Mara doesn't hesitate. She uses Kael's forward momentum against him, hooking his arm, twisting his weight. Kael slams into the ground hard enough to knock the breath from his lungs. Dust and fractured stone explode around him. He rolls. Gets up anyway. Barely. The shadows press closer. Not attacking. Watching. Learning how humans break. Lyric's eyes flick between the fight and Elara, whose knees buckle slightly as the key pulses again. Her attention fractures. Her control stretches. Mara and Ion see it. They adapt instantly. Ion feints left. Mara strikes right. Kael takes both. One to the ribs, one to the shoulder. Something pops. Not broken. Close. Kael staggers. Does not fall.
If I fall, they get to her. Not happening.
He roars, not in rage. In refusal. Kael drives forward again, reckless now, pure will carrying him through pain. He lands a heavy blow on Mara's shoulder. She grimaces, just for a second. Ion counters immediately. A strike to Kael's back drops him to one knee. Breathing hard. Shaking. Still upright. Lyric tightens her fists, calculating. Shadows. Elara. Kael. 3 failures waiting to happen. She can only stop 2. Kael looks up at Elara. Their eyes meet. He gives her the smallest nod. I'm still here. Mara and Ion reset their stances. Not to finish him. To outlast him. Because they know something Kael does too. He can't win. But he can buy time. The shadows shift closer. The ridge holds its breath. And Kael pushes himself back to his feet. Again. A seam opens in the fold. Not a tear. Not a portal. A correction. Space folds back on itself like fabric being pinched between unseen fingers. The air does not distort, it reconsiders. One layer of reality slides aside, just enough to allow another to exist on top of it. Greg Gray steps through. He does not arrive on the ridge. He does not cast a shadow there, yet he sees everything. The fractured land, Lyric standing anchored, Elara unsteady, the key pulsing violently in her pocket. Kael's stance, protective, restrained. ready to break if forced. Mara, tense, eyes tracking every movement. Ion already calculating angles, threat vectors, exits. The shadows returning at the edges, not rushing. Watching, waiting. Greg exists in a parallel layer, close enough to feel their presence, distant enough to remain untouched by consequence. The fold wraps around him like a second skin. Data bleeds through the air itself. Emotional telemetry. Probability drift. Attachment vectors. Not people. Variables.
Love, pain, fear, all measurable, all manipulable.
His gaze lingers on Elara. The key's pulse is erratic now, not just reacting, but struggling to maintain coherence. Her breathing is shallow. Her hand trembles just slightly. Not weakness. Overload.
Interesting.
He tilts his head. The fold responds, isolating her signal from the rest. Her emotional state overlays with key resonance. Grief spikes. Attachment interference. Protective instincts bleeding into instability. The system flags it. Anomalous emotional feedback loop. Greg does not look away.
The key isn't destabilizing her. She's destabilizing the key.
A faint shift of his fingers brings up secondary layers, Kael's proximity to Elara. Heart rate elevated. Protective response. His presence dampens her panic by a fraction. Not enough. Mara's signal shows hardened resolve. Anger. Loyalty. Readiness to burn bridges if it means survival. Ion's is cleaner. Colder. Prepared for loss. Greg watches it all without blinking.
Love is inefficient, but creates leverage no algorithm can fully predict.
The shadows stir at the perimeter. Their movement is more deliberate now. Less hunger, more coordination. They've learned something from Lyric. They do not rush her. They move around her. Greg notices.
They're adapting. Good.
His attention returns to Lyric, her thread steady, her posture calm, her presence rewriting local probabilities without ever announcing it. Not emotional. Authoritative.
You're the anomaly they can't classify, and she's the variable they can exploit.
His gaze returns to Elara. The key pulses again, harder. Elara sways. Greg does nothing. Not yet. He is not here to save, not here to kill. He is here to observe what breaks first. System, thread, key, or love. Greg takes one step deeper into the parallel layer. The fold seals behind him, leaving no trace, no ripple, no evidence he was ever there. Only influence.
Let's see which of you becomes the weakness.
Elara's knees buckle without warning.
Elara.
He catches her before she hits the fractured ground. Her body is ice cold, trembling violently, breath shallow like she's fighting against something inside her.
The key, it hurts. It's too loud.
Her hand clutches at her chest where the key's glow bleeds faintly through fabric. The pulse is erratic now, not rhythmic. Not natural.
That's not just pain. The verdict engine hasn't finished with her. That pulse is feedback. Her body is being forced to adapt in real time.
Kael looks down at Elara, fear flashing hard across his face. He presses his forehead to hers.
You hear me? Stay with me. We're not losing you. Not here. Not like this.
Elara's fingers curl into Kael's jacket, gripping like an anchor.
I can feel it changing me, like it's rewriting me.
Around them, the shadows slow. Their movement becomes cautious. Even Mara and Ion hesitate, weapons lowered just a fraction. The air itself seems to tense, like the fold is holding its breath.
That's not standard resonance.
No, that's escalation.
The key flares, a sharp, blinding pulse. The ground beneath Elara fractures in thin, glowing lines, like reality itself is cracking under the strain.
The system is pushing her past safe thresholds. She's becoming a variable it can't fully predict.
somewhere beyond the ridge unseen. Greg Gray watches, eyes narrowing slightly as data scrolls across invisible interfaces only he can see. System flag. Evaluation loop detected verdict. Delayed anomaly status, escalating. Greg Gray VO. Adaptation beyond projected parameters. Interesting. Back to ridge. Lyric straightens, thread humming louder now. Not fear, but defiance woven through caution.
The cost is showing, and the shadows aren't the only danger here.
Her gaze lifts, scanning not just the battlefield, but the space between it, as if she can feel eyes on them from somewhere deeper in the fold. Elara gasps sharply, eyes flashing with faint, unfamiliar light.
Lyric, what is she becoming?
Lyric doesn't answer right away, because for the first time, even the thread doesn't give her a clear answer.
The battle may be over for tonight, but the fractures we leave behind will echo far longer than we can see. Stay ready, sharpen your blades, and keep your wits about you, because the next clash comes faster than you think. Subscribe, and don't miss a single moment of what's coming.